there is one sentence, hidden in plain sight, that carries the authority to make money bow to you, not as a servant of greed, not as a fleeting guest that comes and goes, but as a loyal companion, drawn to the light of your words, anchored by the vibration of your faith. If these words already stir something deep inside of you, know this truth. You did not arrive here by accident. You were guided. Your spirit aligned itself with this very moment, as though the unseen hand of destiny placed you here before this teaching, because there is a divine appointment written for your life, and tonight, that appointment is being fulfilled. Florence Scovel Shinn, the wise voice, who spoke the language of spirit in such clarity, declared that your words are not idle, they are commands. They instruct your subconscious, they ripple outward into the invisible law that governs all substance. They become the bridge between thought and matter, between desire and manifestation, between hunger and satisfaction. The sentence we are about to uncover is not just a collection of words. It is a sacred decree, a master key, a chord that when spoken, resounds like music in the divine orchestra of creation. Every law of the universe recognizes it, every shadow of lack trembles before it, every barrier of limitation is forced to bend. But pause here, do not rush, because to receive this sentence is to stand at the edge of a great unveiling. You are standing before a sacred gate, and beyond this gate lies the treasury of heaven, the storehouse of all supply, waiting for the soul who knows how to command it with love and certainty. This is not for the curious mind alone. This is for the ready spirit, the one who has walked through nights of worry and days of scarcity, the one who has whispered silent prayers into the dark, wondering if heaven still hears, the one who has asked, why does money feel like a stranger to me, when I work so hard, when I give so much? If that question has ever burned in your heart, you are not alone, and more than that, you are not forgotten. You are standing now where the veil is thin, where spirit leans close and whispers, there is a higher law. This video, this very moment, is part of your awakening. By the end, you will not only know the sentence, but you will also understand how to breathe life into it, how to weave it into your days until money obeys you, not as a tyrant, but as a trusted friend, eager to fulfill your true calling. But before we step further into this mystery, let me ask something simple of you. If your soul is stirred by these words, if something within you recognizes that what you are hearing is truth, then subscribe to this channel. Here, every day, we speak wisdom that awakens the wealth already written in your destiny. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. You are meant to be part of a circle of awakened souls who know the divine law and live by it. Now return to the silence within you for a moment. Breathe, listen. Do you feel it? That quiet stirring. It is your spirit recognizing its inheritance. It is the ancient memory that you are not here to chase money. You are here to command it by divine authority, as an instrument that serves your higher work. Think of the sentence like a seed, hidden, small, yet alive with infinite potential. When spoken with faith, it blossoms into opportunities, doors, connections, and resources. But like every seed, it requires fertile soil. And that soil is your belief. That soil is your willingness to release doubt, to silence fear, to trust the invisible more than the visible. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, your word is your wand. Consider the image. A wand does not push or struggle. It directs, it points, it channels invisible energy into visible creation. So to your words, every syllable is a spark. Every phrase is a current of power. When aligned with divine law, your word becomes unstoppable. This is why most people struggle with money, not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack effort, but because their words betray them. They speak lack into existence. They prophesy fear without realizing it. They say, I can't afford this, and so they can't. They say, money never stays with me, and so it leaves. They say, wealth is for others, not for me, and so the law agrees. But you are different. You are waking up. You are standing before the gate with keys in your hand. And the sentence you will soon receive will show you how to unlock what has always been yours. Let us use a simple affirmation in this moment to prepare your heart. Repeat softly, even if only in your mind. I stand before the treasury of heaven. I am ready to receive divine instruction. I trust that wealth flows through me, for me, and around me. As I align with the law of spirit, feel how your energy shifts, even as those words move through you. The weight on your chest lightens. The fear at the edges of your thoughts dissolves. the atmosphere within you begins to rise. That is the beginning of the awakening. It is not only about money, it is about remembering who you are, a child of the infinite, a co-creator with the divine, a soul clothed in flesh, but never separated from the source of all abundance. And now, let me promise you something. By the time we reach the end of this teaching, you will not only know the sentence, but you will know how to plant it in your mind, how to speak it with authority, and how to watch it draw money into your life as naturally as the river finds its way to the sea. This is not empty theory, this is divine law, and divine law does not fail. Stay close, stay open, the sentence is waiting, and when it enters your spirit, money will no longer resist you. It will serve you, it will move toward you, it will obey you. Why does a single sentence hold the power to move money? Why can a few spoken words alter the rhythm of your entire financial life? It is because words are not casual, words are laws. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the law of the word, the invisible decree that molds substance into form. Every syllable you speak is a seed dropped into the soil of the unseen, and like a seed, it cannot resist growing. Money is not a master, it is not a tyrant ruling your fate. It is energy, neutral and obedient, waiting for instruction. It is like a river, flowing with unending strength, carving its path exactly where your words have dug the channel. If your words carve channels of lack, the river rushes into emptiness. If your words carve channels of authority, the river pours wealth into your life with unstoppable force. Consider this. There are two kinds of people in the world. Those who bow before money, trembling with fear, speaking as if money has all the power, and those who stand in divine authority, commanding money as a servant of higher law. One group says, I can't afford it, money never stays with me. Times are hard, and their words become chains, binding the flow. The other declares, money obeys my voice. I am a faithful steward of divine supply. My words open gates of abundance, and their words become keys, unlocking the treasure houses of heaven. Have you been speaking about money as if it were your master? Have your sentences carried the vibration of fear, doubt, or resentment? Or have you unknowingly pushed prosperity away with careless talk? Think of the times you have said, this is too expensive, money is always slipping away, I never seem to get ahead. Each statement was not simply a thought, it was a command, and money, ever obedient, followed. It drained, it scattered, it fled. But when you learn the divine law, everything shifts. You no longer plead for money, you no longer chase it like a desperate servant. You rise to your rightful position as a co-creator with God, knowing that money itself is bound to respond, not because you wish it, not because you beg for it, but because you decree it. Affirmation is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual legislation. When you say with faith, money now comes to me, under grace and in perfect ways, you are not hoping, you are writing law upon the unseen. You are engraving truth upon the substance of life, and the universe, in flawless obedience, begins to rearrange itself to match your command. Imagine standing in a great hall of destiny. In your hand is the scepter of the word. Every time you speak, that scepter releases authority. It tells the invisible forces where to move, how to align, what to deliver, and money, that humble servant, waits at the threshold for your instruction. Will you dismiss it with careless words, or will you summon it with the voice of divine certainty? Pause now and listen to your inner dialogue. What are the secret sentences you repeat about money? Do they sing of freedom, or do they echo of fear? Do they affirm wealth, or do they whisper poverty? You must become the guardian of your tongue. For every careless phrase is a decree that either builds your palace of prosperity or crumbles it. As scripture says, life and death are in the power of the tongue, so too are riches and lack, so too is freedom and bondage. From this moment on, refuse to let your words wander. Speak with clarity, speak with command, speak with the knowledge that your voice carries the vibration of creation itself. Here is a simple practice. Each morning, before you step into the world, place your hand upon your heart and declare aloud, money is my servant. It obeys my words. I am aligned with divine supply, and wealth flows to me now. Do not whisper it like a timid hope. Say it as if heaven itself is listening. Say it as if the ground beneath you is waiting to tremble at your command. Say it until your very cells believe. Because the truth is this: money has no choice but to follow. It does not resist, it does not argue. It simply obeys the channel cut by your decree, and soon, you will hear the exact divine sentence that places money under your command. Not tomorrow, not in theory, but in words so clear, so certain, that money itself will rise in response. Prepare yourself. The law has been revealed. The command is about to be spoken. Money has a way of exposing the hidden chambers of the heart. It stirs fears, awakens doubts, and pushes old wounds to the surface. Many who hear these words know this battle well. You have felt the nights when the bills seemed louder than your prayers. You have known mornings when anxiety pressed on your chest before the sun even rose. You have stood in front of your own reflection, asking, will I ever be free from this? The struggle is not just financial, it is spiritual, it is emotional, it touches the very core of your being. Many live as servants to money, chained by worry and sleepless nights. Their lives resemble a barren desert, dry and relentless. Though rivers of abundance flow nearby, they stand thirsty, not because there is no water, but because they have forgotten where to look. Perhaps you too have lived this way, counting coins instead of blessings, measuring your worth by the weight of your wallet, fearing that tomorrow will demand more than you can give. This fear is heavy, it lingers in the body, tightening your chest, clouding your thoughts, silencing your joy. It whispers lies. You are not enough. You will never catch up. You are destined to struggle. But hear this truth, these struggles, as real as they feel, are not the final word. They are symptoms, not destiny. They are signs of being out of alignment with divine law. The soul was never meant to serve money. Money was meant to serve the soul. When you live outside this order, fear fills the vacuum. When you forget that God is the true source, anxiety becomes your constant companion. The law of life is simple. Where your words go, your world follows. If your tongue speaks lack, lack multiplies. If your tongue speaks fear, fear grows roots. Yet when the tongue is aligned with divine truth, rivers begin to move, gates open, and supply finds its way to you. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn taught the power of the word, because your inner dialogue is not just talk, it is law in motion. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what are the sentences you whisper when no one is listening? Do you say, I can never get ahead? Do you sigh, there is never enough? Or do you murmur, money slips through my fingers? These are not harmless words, they are spiritual contracts, signed with your breath, binding you to the very struggle you long to escape. This is the silent weight most souls carry. Not the absence of money, but the presence of a belief system that resists divine flow. The real prison is not financial debt, but the inner dialogue of lack, and yet, this prison is built on illusions. The bars are made of words you have the power to replace. The walls are made of fears that dissolve the moment you speak divine truth with conviction. Imagine standing at the edge of that barren desert once more. The heat is pressing, the ground is cracked, your lips are dry, but this time, you remember something. You recall that hidden beneath the sand runs a river, ready to rise the moment you call it forth. The desert was never permanent. It was always waiting for you to command the flow. Beloved soul, this is where hope enters. These struggles are not curses. They are invitations. They are signals from the universe, asking you to awaken, to realign, to remember. The weight you carry is not meant to crush you but to push you toward truth. You do not need to chase money. You need to command it by speaking the divine sentence in faith. But before we move forward, take a sacred pause. Pick up a pen, open your journal, write down the top 3 sentences you often speak about money. Be honest, do they echo fear? Do they declare lack? Or do they honor the infinite supply that is already yours? This simple reflection is more powerful than it seems. It reveals the chains you have unknowingly fastened, and once revealed, those chains can be broken. As you write, remember, you are not your past words. You are not bound by yesterday's declarations. You are free to choose again, free to open your mouth and release words that align with divine law, words that shift deserts into gardens, words that turn anxiety into assurance, words that command money to obey its rightful order, to serve you, not enslave you. The struggle of the soul with money is real, but it is not final. It is a shadow, not substance, and as every shadow knows, the moment light appears, it must vanish. In the next step of this journey, we will move beyond the shadow into the divine sentence that unlocks obedience in the realm of money. Stay with me, because what comes next is not theory, it is power. There are moments in life when the soul does not need another strategy, another plan, or another calculation. It needs a word, a single divine sentence that carries the weight of heaven's order, the music of the unseen. the rhythm of destiny. You have been seeking keys to unlock the gates of prosperity, but today, I place in your hands not just a key, but the master key. Listen with the ears of your spirit. Let these words enter you as if they were carved into sacred stone, written before time began. What is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways under grace. Do not rush past them. Let them linger in the chambers of your heart. Feel their vibration as though the universe itself is whispering them into your soul. Close your eyes and imagine those words echoing across the corridors of eternity, waiting only for your agreement to bring them alive. Let us break the seal on their meaning. What is mine by divine right? This is not wishful thinking. It is your inheritance. You were not born into lack. You were not sent here to scrape. For survival, divine right means there is a portion of life already assigned to you. Not stolen, not borrowed, not begged for. It belongs to you because you are a child of infinite supply. When you speak these words, you align yourself with what has been yours from the beginning. Though the world may have hidden it from you, now comes to me. Not someday, not in another lifetime, not when conditions are perfect. Now, the law of divine timing does not delay when the soul awakens. To declare now is to place yourself in present alignment, where heaven and earth meet. Fear waits for the future, but faith speaks in the eternal present. As you release this phrase from your lips, the silent gate of destiny swings open, and what has wandered far begins its journey back to you, in perfect ways. This is the shield of harmony. Without this phrase, you could force doors open that were never meant to be yours. You could chase opportunities that glitter, but bring sorrow. But when you affirm in perfect ways, you step into the divine orchestra, where every note is timed, every movement is ordered, and nothing arrives out of balance. It means you receive without chaos, without harm, without regret. It means your blessing will fit your life like a garment tailored by eternity. Under grace, these final words are the crown. Grace is the law above the law. It is the gentle hand of the infinite that moves mountains without violence, that shifts conditions without struggle. Grace guarantees that your prosperity does not cost another their peace, that your rise does not demand another's fall. Under grace, what belongs to you cannot be withheld, and what does not belong to you will never trouble your path. Do you feel the sacred weight of this sentence? It is not a charm. It is not mere repetition. It is a decree. Every word is a seed, and together they form a garden of divine order. When you speak it, you are not begging for wealth. You are commanding alignment with the eternal law that already holds your supply. Pause, breathe, place your hand over your heart and let us speak it together, slowly and with conviction. What is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways, under grace. Again, let your soul awaken as you speak. What is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways, under grace. And once more, with the full authority of your spirit, what is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways, under grace. Feel how the atmosphere around you has shifted, something within you has straightened, the chains of fear loosen, the desert begins to bloom, the sentence has been spoken, and the vibration of those words has entered the fabric of your reality. These are not words to be spoken casually. They are living fire. They are the language of alignment. The more you release them, the more the illusion of lack dissolves before your eyes. Tonight, when you lie in bed, whisper them into the silence as though you are sending a signal to the heavens. In the morning, speak them aloud before you step into the day. And when worry dares to enter your mind, let this sentence rise from your lips like a sword of light. This is your soul's compass. This is the decree that reorders your path. Every repetition is an opening of the gate. Every word a call to the abundance that has always been yours, and as this sentence takes root in you, we will move deeper still, into the practice of making these divine words not just a prayer you recite, but the living reality you embody. There is a hidden rhythm in this universe, and when you speak in alignment with divine law, all creation bends to obey. Your words do not float into silence. They are received by the living substance of spirit, and that spirit responds with precision to show you the power of this obedience. Let us journey through stories where faith turned impossibility into abundance. First, imagine a woman in a city where lack was her constant companion. Every door seemed closed, every effort dissolved before it bore fruit. She had been told by the world that she was unlucky, that wealth was for others, not for her. Yet one day, she encountered the divine sentence, "What is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways under grace." She chose to repeat it, not as a wish, but as a decree. At first, the words felt hollow against the weight of her debts. But she persisted, planting them like seeds in the soil of her subconscious. Days turned to weeks, and then one morning, an opportunity appeared, work aligned with her gifts, compensation far beyond what she had known. It was not forced, not begged for. It came under grace. In time, she looked back at her life of lack and realized it had been overturned by a single act of obedience to divine law, the obedience of her tongue. She spoke the sentence, and the universe obeyed. Do you see the lesson here? Just as the seed does not question whether it will grow once it is placed in fertile ground, your words do not question whether they will manifest once released in faith. The seed obeys the law of growth. The money, the opportunity, the favor. These two obey when spoken under grace. Now let us step into an allegory. The story of a farmer in a dry land. For months, the heavens had withheld rain, and the soil cracked beneath the burning sun. His neighbors despaired, declaring that the season was lost. But this farmer had been taught that nature itself listens to the voice aligned with spirit. Standing in his barren field, he lifted his voice and spoke, "By divine right, what nourishes my land now comes to me in perfect ways, under grace." His words carried no desperation, only authority rooted in faith. Days later, clouds gathered, and rain descended, soaking the thirsty ground. Crops sprang forth in a season where others had nothing. This was not chance. It was obedience. The rain obeyed the decree spoken through the law of faith. This story is not merely about water and soil. It is about your own inner field. Perhaps your finances feel dry, your dreams barren, yet the law has not abandoned you. Speak with faith, and the rain of supply will find you. Speak with conviction, and opportunities you thought were gone will sprout before your eyes. Consider one more story, this time drawn from history. There was once an artist, unknown and unrecognized, who lived in a small room barely lit by a single lamp. He longed to share his gift with the world, but was met with rejection at every turn. One evening, exhausted and nearly ready to give up, he remembered the divine sentence he had heard from a friend. "What is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways, under grace." He repeated it aloud, his voice trembling, then steadier, then firm as a bell. Something shifted within him. Instead of chasing approval, he began to create with freedom, trusting that what was his could not be withheld. Weeks later, a patron discovered his work, drawn as if by unseen hands, and his art began to travel across nations. He often said in later years that the true turning point was not the patron's discovery, but his own moment of obedience when he chose to declare his divine inheritance instead of bowing to despair. The lesson is clear. Prosperity does not unfold through greed or fear. It responds to alignment with purpose, service, and divine law. The woman who affirmed her right supply did not steal or strive. She received with grace. The farmer who called rain did not manipulate the sky. He honored the law of faith. The artist who spoke his inheritance did not beg for fame. He surrendered to divine timing. Each became wealthy in their own measure, not because they forced it, but because they aligned with it. And now, I turn to you. Can you see how your own words may already be working in silence, preparing unseen prosperity to obey your call? Perhaps opportunities are shifting right now. Perhaps people you have not yet met are being positioned to bring what belongs to you. Every sentence you speak in faith travels further than you imagine. Speak with conviction, for heaven and earth are listening. Beloved soul, it is not enough to know the divine sentence. It must become breath, rhythm, and living fire within you. Words without practice drift like smoke in the wind, but words embodied, words spoken with devotion and repetition, carve new rivers in the unseen. So let us step into practice, where the unseen obeys the spoken decree. The first practice is rhythm. Speak the sentence at dawn, before the noise of the world intrudes. Speak it again at midday, when shadows of doubt might try to creep in. Speak it once more at night, just before sleep opens the gates of the subconscious. These 3 moments are sacred hinges of time. Each declaration plants the seed deeper into the soil of your being. When the subconscious hears the same command, in the morning light, under the sun's watch, and in the quiet of the stars, it surrenders, it obeys, and life begins to mirror your command. The second practice is vision. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, and see before you golden rivers of wealth, streaming toward you. See them bending around mountains, crossing deserts, and flowing into the garden of your life. Do not see coins or paper, see living rivers of supply fluid, constant, overflowing. As you speak the divine sentence, imagine those rivers obeying your call, quickening their pace, gathering strength, rushing into your storehouses with joy. The universe is not stingy. The universe is abundant movement, eager to serve. When you visualize supply as rivers, you no longer fear shortage, because rivers are endless in their flow. The third practice is writing. Take a clean page and, at the very top, inscribe the divine sentence as though chiseling it into stone. Beneath it, write down every pathway through which supply could arrive under grace. Do not limit yourself to wages or one stream. Write of unexpected gifts, sudden opportunities, long-forgotten debts repaid, ideas that generate income, resources you already own that blossom in new value. By listing these, you awaken your mind to see what it once ignored. You begin to train your sight to recognize prosperity in forms beyond habit. This journal becomes not a record of scarcity, but a living map of divine channels. The fourth practice is the mirror. Stand before your reflection and look into your own eyes. For many, this is the most difficult step, because the mirror reveals the doubt we carry. Yet it is in that moment of confrontation that power is born. Look yourself in the eye, straighten your posture, and speak the divine sentence as though commanding an army. Feel the authority in your voice. Money is not your master, it is your servant. You do not plead with it, you instruct it under grace. You say the sentence with calm majesty, and you watch your own reflection grow into the commander you were always meant to be. Each morning, the mirror practice strengthens your authority. Each evening, it cleanses your heart of fear. The fifth practice is substitution. Every time a thought of lack, fear, or doubt whispers within, you answer it. You do not wrestle with the shadow, for that gives it strength. Instead, you replace it instantly with the divine sentence. When the mind says, "There is not enough," you say, "Divine money now comes to me under grace." When the mind says, "I do not deserve," you say, "I am aligned with divine right supply." This is the law of substitution in action. Light replaces darkness not by argument, but by shining. So you do not debate lack, you outshine it with divine command. Each time you declare it, you strike a tuning fork in the universe. The vibration ripples outward, unseen yet undeniable, and wealth begins to turn toward you, at first in whispers, then in footsteps, then in great procession. Your words do not fall to the ground empty. They vibrate, they summon, they magnetize. What you speak with faith does not return void. And now, a simple prayer to seal these practices into your being. Close your eyes and breathe softly as I speak. Infinite Spirit, I align my tongue with divine command. I speak not from fear, but from trust. I declare that money is my servant, arriving now under grace. I release struggle and receive supply. I am open to channels I cannot yet see. And I know it is done, beloved soul. These practices are not rituals of superstition, but laws of alignment. When practiced daily, they shift the currents of your inner sea, and the outer world rearranges to reflect it. Your task is not to strain or chase. Your task is to declare, to visualize, to inscribe, to reflect, to substitute. Each practice is a stone placed on the path of your wealth destiny, and as you walk this path, pause for a moment and ask yourself, can you feel the vibration of your words already calling money into order? Can you sense the unseen forces preparing to obey your voice? This is not fantasy, it is divine law, and it has been waiting for your command. There comes a moment when the soul crosses a threshold so sacred, fear can no longer follow. The chains that once whispered lack, the shadows that once threatened you with uncertainty, begin to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. This is the passage into divine mastery. It is the moment when money, once your master, bows before you as your servant. No longer does it dictate your choices. No longer does it shape your identity. No longer does it govern your peace. You are the one who commands. You are the one who directs. You are the one who walks in authority under divine law. Imagine yourself entering the marketplace of life, no longer bent in desperation, no longer waiting for scraps to fall from tables of opportunity. You walk as a master, not a beggar, in the shadows. Your head is lifted, your shoulders are free, and your words carry weight because they are aligned with the eternal decree of spirit. Where others feel lack, you see supply. Where others feel pressure, you sense power. You are no longer tossed by the winds of circumstance. You are the one who commands the winds. Hear this affirmation and let it carve itself into the deepest chamber of your being. I command divine money to serve my highest good. I walk in abundance, peace, and freedom. Say it with conviction until it becomes the rhythm of your breath. Each time you declare it, the invisible currents of the universe rearrange themselves. In your favor, money bends, opportunities rise, pathways clear, and the unseen moves with precision to meet your need. The shift is subtle at first, then undeniable. You notice yourself no longer making decisions from fear but from fullness. You do not buy with hesitation. You do not invest with trembling. You do not give with regret. Instead, you move with the calm certainty of one who knows the law is working for them. Just as the sun does not ask permission to shine, your abundance does not ask permission to flow. It is already yours by divine right. It was written into your very being before you took your first breath. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it. See yourself seated on the throne of divine authority within your own life. See money standing before you, ready to serve. It carries no weight of fear. It demands no sacrifice of dignity. It waits for your command. And your command is simple. Serve my highest good. Multiply for the kingdom of light. Flow where love and purpose demand. You are no longer enslaved by it. For you have remembered your place. Money is not your source. God is your source. And money is but one of his messengers. As you step deeper into this truth, decisions begin to shift. You stop asking, can I afford this? And begin asking, is this aligned with my divine assignment? You stop shrinking your dreams to fit your wallet and start expanding your faith to match your vision. You stop bargaining with fear and start partnering with divine certainty. Every choice becomes a declaration that you live already supplied. Every action carries the fragrance of abundance. Listen to the silence around you. Can you hear it? It is the orchestra of divine law, playing in harmony with your command. The strings of provision, the horns of opportunity, the percussion of divine timing, all moving in sync with your spoken decree. This is not imagination. This is law. The universe is designed to obey the voice of spirit within you. When you speak from that place, lack has no authority to remain. You are walking into a new rhythm now, a rhythm where money is no longer a threat but a tool, where it no longer drains you but multiplies through you. You become a vessel through which abundance flows into your family, your work, your community, your world. You are the evidence that God delights in supplying his children with more than enough. And in that abundance, you walk not in pride but in peace, not in arrogance but in assurance. Say it again now. With the strength of one who has remembered their inheritance, I command divine money to serve my highest good. I walk in abundance, peace, and freedom. Feel the resonance of those words in your chest, the vibration in your bones, the echo in your spirit. Let them sink so deeply that doubt cannot uproot them, so firmly that fear cannot silence them, so fully that lack cannot return. This is the mastery you were meant for. This is the freedom that was promised to you before time began. And now it is your turn to embody it. Stand, walk, live, and speak as one who knows they are already supplied. Command from abundance, not from need. Direct with peace, not with panic. Release with joy, not with fear. The old way of living is finished. The new way has begun. Now, I invite you to seal this truth in action. Declare it publicly. Write it in the comments below, as a covenant with yourself and as a witness before heaven and earth. I command divine money to serve my highest good. In doing so, you proclaim your divine inheritance and step fully into the life of mastery that has been waiting for you. The silent gate of destiny has opened, and you are walking through this. You have walked through a sacred passage. You entered carrying struggle. You carried questions, doubts, fears that weighed heavily on your chest. You stood at the gate of uncertainty, wondering if the divine had forgotten your name. But now you have seen the veil torn. You have heard the whisper of truth. You have been given the keys that turn shadows into light. This is no longer a journey of searching. It is the journey of becoming. In the beginning, money felt like a master towering above you, dictating your choices, shrinking your courage, tightening your breath. You measured your worth against its numbers. You bent your dreams to its scarcity. Yet along this path, a great reversal has occurred. The fear dissolved. Peace arose. The chains fell. You remembered who you are, a divine heir, a child of infinite supply, a co-creator with God himself. From revelation came practice. You spoke new words. You shaped new inner dialogues. You replaced the cries of lack with the authority of abundance. You chose thoughts as carefully as a gardener plants seeds. You tended your inner soil with affirmations, prayers, visions, and from those practices, mastery began to emerge, a mastery not born of force, but of alignment, a mastery not built on struggle, but on surrender. Now we arrive at the sacred close, the seal upon your transformation. And here, the divine gives you a sentence that carries the power of law, a sentence that echoes through the chambers of the unseen, and summons the forces of supply. Hear it, hold it, speak it with the rhythm of eternity. I command divine money to serve my highest good. I walk in abundance, peace, and freedom. Say it, slowly, let every syllable ring with authority. This is not wishful thinking, this is command, this is decree, for the tongue is a scepter, and words are the laws you send into motion. The universe stands ready, angels rejoice, the treasury of heaven opens its gates as you speak. The divine orchestra plays your theme of triumph. This is your sentence. This is your time. Speak it, live it, watch as money obeys your command. Walk into the marketplace as a master, not a beggar. Stand in the silent gate of destiny, with no fear in your eyes. Choose with the calm assurance of one who knows supply cannot be exhausted. Move with the certainty of the sun, shining without permission, radiating without apology. I want you to pause here and feel the shift in your very body. Breathe as one who is already wealthy. Think as one who is already free. Decide as one who is already supplied. This is how the spiritual law works, by living as if the miracle is already yours. The law of substitution makes it so. Replace fear with faith. Replace scarcity with sufficiency. Replace despair with joy. And now, a sacred action. I invite you to claim your inheritance publicly. Write these words in the comments. I command divine money to serve my highest good. Let your declaration be seen. Let it echo beyond your private thoughts into the collective field of faith. When you write it, you seal it. When you seal it, you embody it. And if these words awaken something in you, if you felt the stirring of your soul remembering its true name, I invite you to subscribe now. This is more than a channel. This is a journey. Every day we walk deeper together into divine wealth and spiritual freedom. Every word spoken here is designed to realign you with truth, to retrain your inner dialogue, to rebuild your destiny from the inside out. Do not walk alone in shadows anymore. Join the community of those who choose light. Share this message so others may awaken from their sleep of lack. Let us multiply faith together. Let us become an army of divine masters, walking the earth as evidence of God's unfailing supply. The gates are open, the angels rejoice, the treasury of heaven is not far, it is here, pouring through you now. Stand tall, speak boldly, command without fear. The sentence is yours, the power is yours, the time is now. Say it again, with the fire of conviction. I command divine money to serve my highest good. I walk in abundance, peace, and freedom. Carry this into every hour. Let it guide your thoughts when doubts attempt to rise. Let it steady your heart when circumstances shake. Let it remind you of the truth when appearances lie. You are the master. Money is the servant, and servants obey. So step forward, celebrate your inheritance. This is the seal, this is the close, and yet, it is only the beginning of your eternal victory.